everybody. Welcome to Medium on a Mission. I'm Lynn Nicholls. I'm a psychic medium and an intuition expert. I'm on a mission to show you that your intuition is your superpower. You can watch Medium on a Mission on Zingo TV, channels 250 and 251. It can be viewed on all smart TVs, 2016 and 2016 and newer, Amazon Fire, Roku, and on zingotv.com. You can also join in on Spanglish World, the Spanglish World Network, the H.E.R Network, and of course, where you may be watching it from, my Facebook page, Lynn Nicholls Intuition Expert. If you want to jump on my other social media, join me on Instagram at Lynn_Nicholls, which is at the bottom of the screen right now. So if you are here, join in, say hi, let me know where you're from, give me a wave. I won't get to wave back to all of you, but I'm keeping an eye on the corner of my screen so we can chit chat, because this show isn't about me. This show is about you, and I want you to enjoy it. I would love for your suggestions as to what you would love to know about. Feel free to send me an email. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. Hello, everybody. We have some Niagara. Hi, everybody. We have some Alberta, Prince Edward County. Oh, Karen, do you have snow up in Prince Edward County? Niagara Falls. Thank you, everybody. Hi, and so nice to see you. Even if you're watching this on the replay, just comment #replay. Let me know where you're from. I'm dying to know. That's probably not the best word to use when you're a medium, but you get it. So today we are doing Get Into It, we are doing Intuit Talk, and we are doing our psychic party at the end. And before we start, run and get a blank sheet of paper. If you don't have one, it can be half the size, it can be small. It could have lines on it, but make sure there's no words, no pictures. Make sure it's as blank as can be. So while I keep talking, run with your phone, or if you're at your laptop, leave. I won't even know. I won't know you're gone. Get a piece of paper and come right back, or yell for one of your kids to get your piece of paper. Come right back. Get your tea, get your wine, get your water. Get whatever you need to get. So nice to see you. I had a very interesting week last week. You know, it's spooky season, right? So that's when I'm busy. And I did a segment on CHCH about Ouija boards. Some of you may have seen that. If you haven't seen it, pop onto my Instagram or my Facebook, and you will be able to see it. But you'll be able to see it because a couple of my clients sent it to me because they took their phone and they videotaped their television, because halfway through our segment, the power at CHCH went, so it was gone. So the power blew. Unfortunately, they weren't able to save anything. And then the very next day, I'm up in Hamilton and I'm doing a podcast with Rob Golfi for the Rob Golfi Real Estate Show to talk about haunted houses. And what happens mid-conversation, just after I talk about the first ghost I met, Rick Zamperin of CHML, his computer crashes. So I don't know what Hamilton has against me, but it does not want me there. So I'm sorry. If you're from Hamilton, maybe if you could sage the whole darn city, that would be awesome. So does everybody have their piece of paper? My live studio audience here, you can grab a piece of paper if you would like to. So grab your piece of paper. We're going to do something fun today. This is when I used to teach intuition development in person, this is one of people's favorite activities. And what they ended up doing is doing it for themselves at home and keeping them in a folder. And I'll explain why after. So this is how we can get answers without relying on ourselves. I know that sounds weird. So it's going to be like looking at the clouds. Use your imagination, and we're going to find answers. What you can do before you start, you do not need to do anything special. But if you have a quiet space, that's usually better. You can ask a question specifically about something, Or you can just say, let me know what's going on. You can say, let me know what's going on in general. You can say, what's going to happen tomorrow? Or what's going to happen within the month? Or you can say, tell me about so-and-so that you're having a situation with. And then you have to emotionally detach yourself from it. You cannot have any emotions about it. You have to ask as calmly and as plainly as you would order a pizza. And you cannot want a particular outcome because you know what? You're going to create a self-fulfilled prophecy. So right now, if you've got your paper, give me a thumbs up. If not, it's okay. If not, you can do it another time. No big deal. So you'll just replay this. So I know there's a delay, so I will talk very slowly as we get ready for this. So you've got your paper, which is awesome. Think of your question. Okay, we've got some people with their papers. Awesome. Just think of your question as plainly as you would say, hey, I'd like to order cheese, pepperoni, a cherry pizza, cheese, pepperoni. Thanks, bye. No emotion, just order it. Take this piece of paper. Yeah, somebody's walking around upstairs. I don't know what's going on. Okay, ask your question. And we're going to crumple our paper. You can do it as loosely or as tightly as you want. So you can have a ball like this or like this. Ready? Now I would like you to open it up. Ready? And clear your mind while you're doing it. Take a deep breath. You don't have to look at it yet. Straighten it out. If you rip it, don't worry. Straighten it out. You can pick one side or the other. You can hold it this way. You can hold it this way. Whatever you want is entirely fine. We're going to move it around anyways. So you think of your question, let it go. And then I would like you to look at the wrinkles in your paper. Are there any letters that form there? Are there any shapes that form there? You can turn your page around if you would like. You could flip it upside down if you'd like. So I know at some point, I know you're like, it's just a piece of wrinkled paper, Lynn, but it's not. So use your imagination and see what you see. Like right now on my page, you're going to see a lot of things that look like paper airplanes because that's just the way the wrinkles work. So right now I see what looks like a rosebud. So that's interesting. I see what looks like, I'm going to just, here's what I do. Here's what I want you to do after you see it. You don't have to, but this is what I tell everybody to do. It's hard to do because I saw it one way and now I don't see it anymore. So I see, please do not comment on my drawing skills. I'm trying to trace even and it looks like a pot leaf. So I see a rosebud. So oops, so I have, how am I going to get this? I've done that. I see, sorry folks, I see a set of boobs. So I see poop, I see boobs. I'm not even going to show you those because they're just as uneven as mine. So I don't know. I didn't ask any. So Miranda just asked me, what did you ask? You've got a rosebud, you've got boobs. I didn't ask anything. I was just doing this. So we're going to say it's general. So what's that?
You saw boobs. I'm winning the lottery.
Okay, so we have a funny story behind the boobs. So my friend Chris, who is here, my friends Miranda and Chris are here. And long time ago, Chris and I totally forgot about it till you told me.
I did until you said.
Yeah. You know, like a lot of people, they say, am I going to win the lottery? And I don't even remember what I said, but
if I win, I have to buy you.
Yes. I said, if she wins, she's going to have to buy me a set of boobs. So,
you see me,
and now I see boobs. She's winning the lottery. Yay. So that's what my life is like. I also see some interesting, okay, so this one's interesting. I see what looks like a foot. Oh, you can't see it. Let me see if you could see it. No, see, there's my foot right here. You see my foot? Okay, so I see a foot. So you can, if you don't see anything, flip it over. Oh, so this is interesting. On the other side, it's what it looks like immediately. Like when you look at a cloud and say, oh, that looks like a dragon, or oh, that looks like a teapot. But on this one looks like, can't see it, a microphone. So that's, Rue, why do you say that's your foot? Why would I draw your foot? Did I draw your boobs too? I hope these aren't your boobs because these are really bad boobs. And one's distinctively smaller than the other. So I'm not sure why I have those things. I like the idea of a microphone because I do like to talk, if you haven't noticed. So did you ladies get anything on yours that stands out?
Yeah.
What did you get?
An M.
Oh, you got an M for Miranda, so
There's
that's
a
pretty
heart.
cool. A heart. Hearts are good.
And yeah, another M. I keep getting M's, so it's me.
Oh, that's cool. It's all about you this year. And maybe it's all about love.
No boobs though.
Well, you've got boobs. It's gonna be one of those days, folks. What did you get?
I had a bird.
A bird?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Any particular kind of bird?
No, it's a beak and you can see that.
You can see it?
Yeah.
Okay. We got people with a heart. Oh, Rue, you just came from the hospital. I hope you cracked your foot. Oh, that hurts. I've had that happen. I'm sorry. Anything else in yours, Chris?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's okay.
I have a big cross too.
Oh, whoa. I see it. When I look at it, I think it's a kite.
Oh.
Yeah, like those old-fashioned
Yes.
kites with the cross in it and that kind of thing. So very cool. So what I do is if it's like, oh, a spider web. Yeah, Rue, you're right. A hawk. Oh, that's cool. Chanty got a star. I think that's a star. I can't see. My glasses are over there. And they should be over here. So you don't have to do this all now. You can put it away and look at it again later. If you're, if it's a little noisy right now or whatever, go right ahead and do that. If you got nothing, if you don't see anything, do not worry. It could be that your brain is too busy. Or you can just toss this paper if you'd like. I wouldn't do that. Oh my goodness, Denise, you got the word joy.
Wow.
That's interesting. Cardinals. I say that's interesting because Chris's mom's name is Joy.
Oh.
See the letters LOL. Oh, very cool. And very cool. So my producer has mountains and birds. Oh, I like that. I like that.
The same kite as me.
You have a kite as well? We have lots of kites this time. I like mountains and birds. I think that. So here's what I want to say. So Rhea, come back, like replay it, watch it on the replay and figure it out. Okay, Leanne, EM4. Okay, trace those out. Remember those as the beginning of a name or initials. Now it could be a street name, a company name, a person's name. Just remember those. 4, if you get numbers, it's either 4 months from now or the 4th month, which is April. I tend to go with numbers being the 4th month. Now, if 4 is somebody's birthday, that's important too. It's about that person. So when you see things like boots or flowers, see if there's anything around it or on the direct back of it and see how those two go together. A couple things you can do here. You can get another piece of paper, and write out what feelings you got. So I see this foot, but it's not it's like in a giant sock. Honestly, when I saw it, it reminded me of when I broke my foot playing volleyball way back in my 20s. So maybe that's why we had somebody come up with, I just broke my foot. Oh, Leanne, that's cool. So she got an M and an E, and her daughters are Mia and, oh, I like that name, LED. I'm probably saying that wrong. Tracy, an angel and a hand. Laura, a donkey. Is there anybody in your life that's another word for a donkey? Just think about it for a second. So see what the things remind you of. You can keep another piece of paper and write out the immediate feelings you got, good, bad, or ugly, write them down. You can write out if it made you think of anybody or anything or a situation. You can write out any of that stuff. You can do it right on the sheet, but it's better if you do it on another sheet because it gives you, you don't block anything. Put the date on the sheet, especially if some of these things didn't make sense, because it might just be like my boobs that they're going to come up in the future. And look, I wonder what this flower bud is. That's kind of interesting. So put the date on it, keep them in a little file folder, and don't let anybody see them because they'll think you're cuckoo. You can do one, like say you're having a week from now, you end up having trouble with your dog. What's wrong with my dog? Wrinkle, 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 open. What's the first thing that comes to mind? What's the first thing you feel in your body when you look at it? Trace them out, date it, write your notes, put it away. It takes like 2 seconds. Well, maybe 2 minutes. So very cool. Very cool. Frankie, that's cool that you saw feathers because I just did a video and I put like this feather filter on it. So that's very cool. When you try and interpret these things, stop yourself. Do not try and interpret them because that's when your intuition isn't coming into play, but your imagination is coming into play. And you don't want to try and turn it into something it isn't. So just see what comes up, what you feel, how you feel, who it reminds you of, whatever just pops up, bubbles up from the surface. And I mean that in a very good way. So that's something you could do anytime about anything. And it's a jumping off point for your intuition. So it's not the end all be all, but it gives you something to focus on. If you have difficulty focusing, take your finger and just trace the wrinkles. And another thing that's going to make me sound like a total kook, but Rebecca's comment about mountains and birds reminded me. When you lay it flat on a table, it kind of looks like this. And to me, that looks like a landscape. And if you need your mind to go somewhere else, honestly, I'm not crazy, I'm just a little bit crazy. I kind of imagine myself walking through this landscape. So there's you see the big mountain right here. So I would picture myself walking through the mountains, looking up at the birds and seeing how I feel, what's coming to mind. So that's a little bit of not a meditation, but a visualization. Just picture yourself walking through, and you could take your little finger and you could do this, or you can do this, or just imagine yourself doing that. That's one of my, and you'll get the answer to your question 9 times out of 10. If you don't, try it again another time. So take your paper now, tuck it away. You can check on it anytime, keep it in a folder. If you don't like it, if it's spelled out your ex's name, burn the darn thing. So we don't need any of that mojo around. But seriously, if it spells out something you don't like or something that's really bothered you, burn it and release it and just say, this problem, I'm sending it off to the universe or to the sky or to the netherworld. No, don't do that. That was terrible. Send it off into the air and back to where it came from and let them heal it. So you just imagine that the problems go up with the smoke and off to see it. So Chanty sees a ring. That's interesting. Well, that was very Dr. Seussy. So folks, thank you so much for joining me with that. Please shoot me a DM on Instagram at Lynn_Nicholls. Let me know how it went. If something's kind of confusing, I'm happy to help. Shoot me a message there. I don't check my own emails, and my admin works part-time, so I won't get to those, but Instagram I check pretty often. So that's at Lynn_Nicholls. And hopefully you're catching us on the Spanglish World Network, on the H.E.R Network, Zingo TV channels 250 or 251, wherever you're catching us on. Please let us know in the comments. We'd love to know where you're catching it on. Shoot your friends a text, let them know you're watching and let them join in too. We have, in a few moments, we're going to call on somebody I know and I respect for her talent and her wisdom, and her name is Bronwyn Campbell. And I'm going to read this so I don't mess it up. And I'm bringing her on because after spending so much time at home, we've gotten used to being very comfortable. I'm wearing leggings. I think I've worn leggings for a year and a half, 2 years. So we've become very used to being comfortable at work, and some of us are heading back into work. And if you're going back to work and you still want to look good, but you want to be comfortable, we are talking with Bronwyn Campbell, who is the founder and owner of Pippa and Peach. It is a Niagara-based business, and it came out of her desire to create home decor and clothing for her two adorable little daughters. And it started in 2015. I've known Bronwyn for a long time. So we're going to talk about her journey and just her success story. I think it's phenomenal. So let's bring Bronwyn on. And in the comments, if you want to send her some claps, I'm happy to see some clapped hands. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you muted? Oh,
Am
she's
I
unmuted.
muted?
Nope. It's a
If I talk, can you hear me?
okay. So I can hear you a few seconds after you talk. So don't worry about it. We're just going to have some very dramatic pauses. So can you hear me in line with my movements?
Yeah, you
Okay.
are perfect.
Okay. Very good. I'll try not to talk over you. And luckily, having done virtual readings for a year and a half, I'm getting very good at reading lips. So if you can tell people very quickly about your business and what you do.
So I am the owner of a clothing boutique that started with me teaching myself to sew at night when my babies were very little. I had no formal training and just needed a creative outlet from my everyday job as a therapist. And I started just making cute kids skirts for my two daughters and started a little Facebook group that sort of grew and grew and grew. And as my job got more stressful, I found myself leaning into the creative outlet that I'd created for myself, to sort of be an escape, to challenge myself to learn new skills. And that's sort of where it was. And, it's the line expanded. And then it sort of took a turn. I decided, why was I only sewing for my kids? I had some missteps in business where I didn't trust my intuition and kind of made some valuable mistakes. And I had to bring it back to, why did I start sewing in the first place?
I like that. Yeah.
And out of that came, well, I'm going to try and sew myself something. So I sewed a ladies romper. It sort of expanded. I eventually left my job to, as a therapist, to actually pursue this, because working full time with two little kids and running what became a full-time business on the side was too much.
Yeah.
And since then, now our team is at about 9 local seamstresses.
That's phenomenal. And I love how we've known each other for many years. And
You told me I would do this before I ever had an inkling to even sew.
Whoa, really?
Before my first daughter was born, I saw you and I wanted to open a private practice. I worked in a hospital. You said, you're going to run a business, but it has nothing to do with therapy, nothing to do with this. It's going to be completely different. You will, I still refer to that. It's such a funny journey we've been on, because I thought you were crazy.
Yeah, like most people.
But I've always learned to take what you say as it is. Never interpret, always just take it as it is, write it down, refer back to it. It's funny how things unfold. And I'll never forget that. And I remember waking up like 4 years later and thinking, oh my God, she told me I was going to run this. And I never, and it wasn't until I was in the situation of deciding whether to lose my job full time or not, that I made the decision to trust kind of what you had said, like that this path that you were going to start a business and this was going to be highly successful, and it wasn't what I thought it was. And so I always refer back to that.
So when you were in this job that you wanted to leave, how did you feel? Like, what was the final feeling that was when you've got to leave? Because there's a lot of people dealing with that right now. Did you consciously say, do I leave this job? Or was it just, I'm leaving this job?
So I'm a pretty, a pretty analytical person, so I can overanalyze anything to death. I was in my job full time. Anyone who works in healthcare, I mean, any job, but my healthcare job at the hospital was particularly stressful. And I came to a realization that it wasn't bringing me joy, that like I gave so much in my job that I had no magic left to give to my little kids when I got home. And you really do provide the level of care that you hope you would receive if you needed it, but that leaves very little. And when you're an empath, you absorb a lot of that negative energy when you walk in the doors, and it's really hard to shed that when you get home. And while my heart was like, my intuition, my gut all said like, this is not the place for me, it was a really big struggle in my head to make the choice to physically leave. I actually basically came to a point where a couple years ago, Doug Ford decided to rejig the hospital system. And so my job at that point, I had gone part-time to do both jobs, and they decided to lay off all part-timers. So I had the choice to go full-time and basically give up this side business or figure it out. And that was a really tough choice, a really big gamble on myself, for our family. But I also took it as a very big sign that if there was ever a time that the decision was sort of being made for me, it wasn't me deciding one day irresponsibly, as many of you might have parents who would say like, you're being irresponsible, you can't just quit your job tomorrow, you have family responsibilities. I felt like the universe had basically aligned everything possible for me to leave, complete with like a paid layoff.
So there you go. So it was like, you knew what your intuition was saying. You just needed to be hit with like a spiritual 2x4 to leave. And I think that's what it is you knew it, you felt it. And what was the difference in feeling between work and sewing?
I think there was a different sense of gratification in sewing. When I first started as a therapist, I loved it. Like I loved to help people, help people understand, get unstuck. I still love that. I think there's lots of aspects now in my business of what I did back then. But what I liked about sewing is there was a different expectation for myself. I could challenge myself to learn something new, but if it didn't work out, it wasn't the end of the world. I wasn't gambling with someone's life or their right? Like there was just I gave myself the grace to make mistakes. And in my job, I never did that. And the feeling was different because I could actually focus on what I was doing. I didn't feel like I was subject to everybody else's opinions or scrutiny about what I was doing. It was just something I did for me. And anybody with young kids can say or can understand the fact that like, you do nothing for yourself for those first several years.
Right.
Like there was nothing done for me. It was the one thing that I could do. It took me away to a new place, and it made me feel fulfilled again, which I felt like I lost out of my job
Yes.
after feeling like I did the best I could and always hitting 60%. There's nothing
Right.
worse than leaving work every day feeling that way.
Yeah, and I love what feeling fulfilled. And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if feeling fulfilled is finishing the dishes in the sink. It's like whatever makes you feel fulfilled, do it. Now, I know there's some people out there that need their job. They have to stay at their job. So what you did is you just followed your passion. You followed what made you feel good.
Mhm.
And I think that's important. Is what were you spoke of, sometimes you didn't listen to your intuition and you were like, I should have listened. Is there a moment you remember in particular?
So I had been given some business advice by a pretty notable woman in business here in
Okay.
Niagara. And I invested a lot of money into something.
How did you feel about that? In
Well,
hindsight, how did you feel about all the money going out? Oh, see, I see your face.
yeah, I mean, I felt talked into it the whole time, but I
Okay.
think being naive and not trusting my gut in
Ah,
that, it never sat quite right. It never aligned. It wasn't easy to get this collection made. I had fabric made. Everything was a hurdle. And,
oh,
and
okay.
there were signs, but I just so trusted this person. And I mean, other people kind of told me too, but I felt like this person wouldn't steer me wrong. She's very invested in what I
Mhm.
thought was me. And in hindsight, I had it. I still have it. This product, still have it. It did not
Oh,
go as well as I wanted. And but it was the best lesson I ever got in business, because that was the moment I decided to start going back to the why I started in the first place. I made a ladies romper. From there, my business went from a hobby to a legitimate business. And I'm forever grateful for that. But when my gut says no, I really try and listen to it. I also think for a long time, and for anybody who's followed Lynn for a while or met with Lynn before, you'll understand this. When you have a reading, when you hear from someone, sometimes you automatically project your perceptions of what
sure.
they tell you onto things. And what
Mhm.
I learned was to really take them in as they are given to you and then reflect on them, because there were definitely things that I learned in the whole process. Like there were hard moments, and usually we tell ourselves we always think in one direction. So if you're like me, you always have a goal. I've survived many things in life because I have always had a goal. I am someone that can't stand still.
Mhm.
I need to constantly be moving forward. So there has to be, my husband is completely different. It drives me nuts. He just can't. He can't
Yeah.
think that way. I need to be working towards something. I need to know that regardless of where I am right now, there is something that I'm looking forward to, that I'm moving forward to. So for anyone feeling stuck, that's a really big tool for me. But I've also found that when I get too fixated on what that endpoint is, I have blinders on of the other ways that things can work out. And what I've learned is when I get in situations where I feel like the goal is never happening, like it's so frustrating, things are not panning out
Mhm.
as planned, I take that as my sign from the universe that I need to reevaluate my goal or my direction and maybe be open to something else coming along. And
Right.
the last year and a half, especially, that being open has allowed me to sort of continuously pivot. There is 10 backup plans for every backup plan, because that's how businesses are surviving right now. And
Yes.
I'm no exception, but being able to be open to other ways, like not being so fixated on this is the outcome that has to happen,
Right.
I know when I feel like I'm in a hard time where I'm really struggling with where I am right now. Usually that's, if I sit on that for a little bit, usually it's my sign that the silver lining's coming. Like when I am at the point where I'm about to have a mental breakdown, I
Okay.
usually know.
Mhm.
I mean that in that, like when I've just reached the cusp where I feel like I
Yeah.
cannot manage anymore, that is when I know the silver lining is coming.
Okay, that's great advice. That's great. And when you get into a hard time, that's great advice to realize, okay, not to abandon your goal, but to look at like you want to get to that floor, but there's a stairway, there's an elevator, there's an escalator, there's another stairway. There's lots of different ways there. So you kind of have to sit back and say, okay, show me what to do next. Like show me what it is. And you learned that all important lesson of what doesn't work out for you actually worked out for you.
And there's a lesson in everything. So I
Mhm.
think we have a choice. I mean, I can get frustrated like everybody and I can freak out about things. And, there are layers of that happening right now. But at the end of the day, staying positive on the fact that there will be a silver lining, there will be an outcome. I may not be able to see it right now, but I have to be open that just because I want it some way doesn't mean that's the right way, the best
Right.
way, or the way that it's going to happen. But I have to be open to listening. If I'm beating my head against a wall, that's probably meaning that the direction I'm trying and focused on is directing me in a different one.
Awesome. Awesome. That's beautifully said. That makes so much sense because a lot of people get stuck in that direction. So why don't we end with that? Because that's a very great takeaway for everybody listening. And thank you so much, Bronwyn, for sharing your journey with us. I love it. People can find you on Instagram, Pippa and Peach, pippaandpeach.com, Facebook, Pippa and Peach Boutique, and super comfy clothes, high quality. And I love this new Delaney vest you have.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yes.
Yeah, I hope people take a look at that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to send you back into the green room and then magically bring you back with some friends.
Yes.
That's okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks everyone for listening.
Okay. We'll see you in a few minutes. You take care. Oh, take care. She's got to take care for like 2 minutes until we go back. Because what's happening is I've sent Bronwyn away. She's going to gather a couple friends and we're going to do a psychic party with her and her friends. I've not met her friends, but I think very important takeaways with her is when you keep beating your head against the wall, maybe there's a different way to that next floor. So step back, take a minute and say, tell me what I need to know, and detach from that goal and watch how things open up for you. Be open to the new stairways, the elevators, the escalators. And honestly, what doesn't work out for you might just work out for you. So take a look. I've seen her journey through the years, and I know how she's listened, like paid attention to the feelings in her body about where she is. She doesn't, she's got a very good, like you all do, a good gut instinct about where if she is where she is and she's not comfortable, look for another route out. She's got a great way of looking at things, and she puts information and intuition together to make very good decisions. But we all get caught up in our head. So get out of your head and then get on track. So we are going to, some people can't hear over here. The dog's over here. So if you can't hear it, I'm sorry, try a different device or log out and log back in again. So speaking of logging out and logging back in again, let's bring Bronwyn back in again with her friends. And we are going to have a psychic party. Do you have you have your girls with you?
Where are my friends?
There we go. There we go. Any more?
Hi.
Awesome. Oh, this is neat. Okay, so you're not all in the same room. I was wondering, like, where'd they go? Okay, awesome. Are we just having Ashley and Erica here?
Yes,
Can you
Neil.
guys see me and hear me?
Neil. Yeah, Neil is by Ashley, her husband.
He left.
Oh,
He'll be back.
did he get scared and run away?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay. So I was so excited we were going to get to have a man in the group. And they're what I call fresh meat. So they're always fun. So ladies, very nice to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm excited. It'll be fun. I've been doing Zoom readings for a year and a half, so I'm fine to keep doing this. I love it. So can Erica put her phone horizontal? Is that possible? Or she might be switching to a laptop or something. I don't know. So what we'll do is we'll get started. And is either, and maybe you can speak for Erica while she's not here, is Ashley or Erica a nurse? Or
I'm a hygienist.
you're a what?
Hygienist.
Okay, because I saw scrubs. And that's why I wasn't sure what was going on. So we'll get poor Erica. We're gonna make her turn her phone.
I can't hear anything.
Who can't hear? Raise your hand. Whoever can't hear. Oh, that if you can't hear, you can't raise your hand. So
I'll text her and tell her to put her mic on.
okay. So I don't know if we can hear her. I can't quite see anything. The joys of technology. So Ashley, you're the hygienist?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so very strange question. And I'm assuming dental?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything unusual going on with the metal instruments? Like, are they all gone to crap? Do you need new ones? Are you ordering new ones?
My ultrasonic just broke and I just got a new one.
Oh, okay.
It just got fixed.
And no big deal. I know it's not a big deal. And I'm not trying to be spooky by any means, but that just means you have some spirit company with you at work and they're like, something just broke. We just need you to know.
Yeah.
And that is coming up. So,
just got there today.
No. What is the TM name or initials? Tim, Tom, Tammy.
My dad is Tom.
That's your dad.
Yeah.
Okay. Living or gone?
He's here.
Okay, that's good. I didn't think he was over there.
Yeah.
Just tell him I am not worried, and any health advice, please check with doctors. I'm just getting something through here, and I don't know if I don't think it's a dental thing. I wonder if it's a gland or a throat thing.
Okay.
Just something for him to keep an eye out, but nothing I'm worried about, but certainly worth checking so he doesn't have to deal with it.
Okay.
And Ashley, you're not on Bumble, are you?
No, but you're getting mixed up with Erica.
Oh, it's her. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's
her and I are cousins.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And she's on Bumble?
She's not anymore, but she's recently divorced and dating. Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Not a big fan of dating apps, but not that I'm dating, just saying. She's going to find her person really soon.
Wow. Oh, where is she? She's got to come back and get over here.
I think it looks like Bronwyn might be texting her. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay, good.
Your laptop.
Okay, yeah, thank you. And I'm not telling. There she goes. There. Hi.
Yes.
Sorry, I was on my phone and it wasn't working properly, so I had to jump onto my laptop.
Okay, Erica, this is for you.
Yeah. She's asking me if I'm on dating apps. I'm like, you got us mixed up.
That might be me.
And that's totally cool. And it's quite the experiment in human behavior. I get that. So I think you've got a very good friend in Bronwyn who's got a very good intuitive sense. And you can always send me pictures and I'm happy to say yes or no. But for some reason, like Bumble came up and I wasn't sure if Bumble came up because you specifically need to be on there, not that I'm affiliated with them, or that it was just like she's dating, but you're going to find your person, like I'm thinking before June.
Really?
Yeah. And he's not a narcissist. So yay.
Oh my God. We were just talking about that tonight.
Oh,
wow.
Okay. So yeah. What's the, so back, Ashley, quickly, your dad, Does he get headaches?
Not that I know of.
I'm not worried in a huge way. Has he fallen and hit his head lately?
Nobody has a head cold right now.
Okay, never mind. That's all it is.
Yeah.
My head was
Okay.
going boom, 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 and I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out why. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's just all it is.
Hmm.
So, folks, if you're wondering why is she asking this or how's it coming up, it's because for momentarily I get a boom in my head and it's gone. So I don't keep it. It's not mine, and I don't need it. So, yay, Erica, a decent fella, and he's got a very common name. I am not because my friend Chris is here, but there's a Chris around him, or there's a Chris around you. There's a Chris connection there. So keep it in mind. Maybe you don't know her. Okay. Maybe at Christmas. No, that's not it. Keep that in mind. Chris, anytime I say names, and I know Chris is a super common name, but it can be Chris, Christine, Kristen, Crystal, Christopher. So I think we're going Christopher, Christian, or his last name is Christensen.
Okay.
So that's what seems to come up. So as you're doing your swiping, just
Yeah.
Don't filter those out.
Erica, are you 5'9"?
5'4".
Oh, you're little. Okay. Sorry. Not, Okay.
Good things come in small packages.
So they say. Back to my boobs again. Here we go.
Mine too.
Okay, so he might not be super tall, and that's fine. You're just a tiny little thing. So I'm thinking he may be 5'9". No big deal. He's got a heart of gold. I know all the women are like, you must be 6 feet. Bugger off.
Listen, Ashley and my husbands are both 5'8".
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Bronwyn's she's not tall, but she's
We're the
tall
same
and
height. My husband.
Yeah. Bronwyn, did you just buy a mirror or something with a mirror or buying a window?
No. Not super recently. I
No.
have a mirror just sitting there that looks like I just bought in my hallway. I'm moving it around.
No. Did you just hang it?
Have I meant to hang it? Is that what you meant to say?
Did you just hang it on the wall?
I mean to.
Oh, it's sitting on the floor?
Waiting
that's-
to be hung.
Okay, this is the problem. So I'm not trying to spook you. You just have some spirits standing there looking at the mirror like, what's going on?
It's a mirror reflecting on a mirror. Like I have a mirror here and then a mirror here, and they're looking at each other. So I wondered about that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's just, you got some company, and like you said, it probably just looks like it was just bought. So you have a mirror problem.
Okay.
Not a big deal. Yeah. Again, no, not divine words from the other side, but keep it in mind. And does one of you have a connection, totally random, to Pickering or Picton or Pickles? Or does one of you play pickleball?
No.
No P-I-C, pick.
Picklee. We have a friend that's Picklee.
Mm-hmm.
Her last name is Picklee.
Oh, how would Pickle, P-I-C, I'm guessing A-L. Okay. That's her last name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a very unique first name. Okay. I'm not worried about her. Is this a mutual friend for all three of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something's going on with her that's going to involve all three of you. I'm not worried about it. It's not like you're going to have to rally together, but it's just going to, something's going on with her. I don't know what it is. I'm not worried about what it is, but just keep an eye on her. That's all. She's super stressed right now. I mean, who isn't? There's Ashley, are you limping right now?
No.
Is your hubby?
He's always limping.
Okay. He needs to get his butt back in here. I need to talk to that man.
I'll get him.
So is this a back issue?
Yes.
Yeah. and again, I'm not a doctor. Any health related things you got to check with your doctors and your nurses and that kind of stuff. But he's not stuck with it. That's all I want him to know is
He's not.
No. Yeah, because I know once your back is bad, everything's bad, and I know that from experience. But he's not stuck with it. He just hasn't found the right route to heal himself. And I'm not talking like spooky woo woo, but like legitimate doctors.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And do you have the Carl or the Carol, or is that somebody else?
Carol is
yours, Erica? Who's Carol?
Yes. Carol is her name.
Who's that?
My dad's friend. A family friend.
Oh, okay.
A friend, yeah, a friend.
Okay. And have you just heard about her, or has your dad just chatted with her?
No, we've we've known her for about 3 years now.
Oh, she just seems to be coming up in conversation a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to keep in mind. I am not worried about it. It's just when that happens, you have more company with you than you can see, so to say. So somebody's eavesdropping on the conversation. And
Neil, get in here.
who's here?
Neil's here.
Neil's here. Is he limping into the screen?
Yeah.
No.
She said, "Are you limping?" I'm like, I don't know. He's
No.
always limping.
I'm not too bad right now.
Oh, that's good. We only have a few minutes left, so you made it just in time. Your back problem, you're not stuck with it. So is it Neil that has the Mary or Marie or Murray?
Yeah, Marie.
Who's
Mary.
that?
Mary.
Yeah.
Who's Mary?
That's my grandma.
And
Is she on the other side?
No.
no, but her husband Neil is.
Oh, okay. That's funny because as soon as you said Neil, I heard and Mary. So I'm wondering if just Grandpa Neil is saying just let Mary know I'm with her, because I felt like her name was coming from the other side, and I'm glad she's still here. But it's Grandpa saying I'm there. I'm there. Neil, do you drink too much pop or coffee?
Neither.
Beer.
I don't drink pop or coffee really at all.
Or beer?
Yeah, maybe beer.
Okay, because Grandpa Neil is just giving you crap, saying, and he's just showing me a brown drink, and he's saying, "Okay, ease up, buddy." Like that's a little. Not that you're an alcoholic by any means, but it's just he's like, okay, you don't look heavy, but he says you've been gaining weight.
What? No. Not in a long
Since
time.
he's
My
Well,
husband.
yeah, I guess so. Well, since
Maybe
he's
it's
around,
my
yeah.
husband, because my husband and Neil get confused for each other pretty much their whole lives.
Oh goodness. Okay, and that might. Okay, Neil, you're clear. Don't worry, Bronwyn, your hubby, he needs to cut it down a little bit. He's getting too chubby. So I think we have Grandpa Neil giving your hubby crap about it. And so who's got James? Who's Jim?
That's my grandpa. And his grandpa. We both have a grandpa Jim.
Which one's on the other side?
Both.
Both are.
Oh, there's a Grandpa Jim coming through and saying, "I'm here too. Don't forget me."
Yeah.
And no offense, Neil, you do not look heavy at all. But he's just saying, like, have you started working out?
They're all picking up on me.
Yeah, they are. They really are. And I kind of enjoy it because anytime there's a man in my midst in this situation, I think I'd call you guys fresh meat. I think you're so much fun. But he's not saying you're heavy. Because you obviously are not heavy, but there may be something coming up that you may gain about 10 pounds.
No way.
Just be a little wary of that. Or maybe it's just like Christmas kind of stuff.
Right.
Keep an eye out for that.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, I know. Thanks, Lynn, for just calling me fat. That was awesome. Right?
Yeah.
Great. And Clark, does that make sense for anybody? First name or last name, or it's a Superman reference? Does it make sense? Okay.
No.
I'm sure, Neil, you are Superman, but that's not what I mean here.
Totally.
So,
We have Ash and I have a shared friend with the last name Clark.
oh, that could be all it is.
Their daughters dance with ours.
Okay. And it could just be you're going to see them shortly, and the dead grandpas are going to be there just joining in on the fun. which is kind of cool. And there is a connection to a Gibby or a Gibson. Keep that connection open because I think it will be very helpful in the future. So just an FYI. And who's Don? Don or Dan?
Don Peters.
Don Peters. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's who?
Neil's uncle.
Okay, living or gone?
Gone.
Gone. Yeah.
Okay. You just have, see, Neil walks in, the whole spirit.
Yeah, I know, eh?
Yeah,
Neil's still in the show.
I
I
know.
told you that could happen. You bring me in.
That's okay. That's awesome. But unfortunately, you know what? We do have to end it. So I do apologize. But what I'm going to do is, Bronwyn, I will message you as soon as we're done here. So you guys hang around your homes. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to text Bronwyn. She's going to text you as soon as at 9:01.
Okay.
I just have stuff to share with you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. So we will say goodbye to all of them. And folks, thank you so much for joining me for Medium on a Mission. It has been a pleasure having you here. I will see you next week. Remember, you're never alone.